Dear Professor Pincushion, sewing is my newest hobby and I'm really enjoying it, but between work and kids, I really have a hard time being able to sit down and actually complete projects in a timely manner. How do you manage your sewing time? So Crazy Mom. Dear So Crazy Mom, there's an old saying, a stitch in time saves nine. What does that even mean? Who knows? I'll look it up later, but it's the subject of today's Dear Professor Pincushion. Look, I don't pretend to be a great manager of time, but if there's one thing I learned in all my years of sewing, it's this. Real time and sewing time, not even in the same dimension. It's like there's real spans of time, and then there's sewing time. And if that sounds confusing, it's probably because you haven't been sewing for as long as I've had. And I've learned to navigate through this weird twilight zone, and I'll explain it in a very simple example. Let's say I want to hem my skirt. Nothing fancy, just a simple hem. Now I figure this is going to take me 20 minutes to do. After measuring, pinning, ironing, sewing, 20 minutes have passed and I'm done. And for $10,000, how long did it take Professor Pincushion to finish her hem? 20 minutes. Ooh, I'm sorry, we were looking for an hour and a half. Thanks for playing. An hour and a half? You know, they're right. Because whatever timetable you predict that something is going to take you to sew, you need to multiply that number by 5 to get somewhere within the ballpark. It may be a ballpark in a different town, but at least it's a ballpark. This is also why you could sit down to sew for 5 minutes and then realize you forgot to pick up the kids, you didn't make dinner, and you also didn't take a shower, because sewing time is slower than real time. It's also why you feel frantic being up at 2 a.m. sewing something at the last minute. Been there, and it's the worst. It's moments like these that you begin to question this crazy hobby and your sanity. Sewing is relaxing? I'm not relaxed. And if my bobbin runs out of thread one more time. Have you ever flipped through the pattern books and found the 1 hour pattern? Yeah, that's 1 hour sewing time, not 1 hour real time. If I'm being honest, it takes me an hour just to pull it out of the envelope, figure out which pieces I need to cut out, and then what fabric I'm going to sacrifice to the cause. Then you gotta account for going to get a drink of water, checking the social media accounts, going to get the mail, getting another drink of water, and maybe checking on the kitties or fur babies. So that 1 hour pattern can take upwards of 5 hours in real time from beginning to end. What does this mean in trying to carve out meaningful, uninterrupted sewing time? It means that if you have any kind of life commitment, work, kids, writing blogs about adorable cats, you pretty much have to sew when everyone else in the world is sleeping. Sleeping is overrated anyways. Or you have to steal time from other things. Is mommy really in there taking a nice long shower, or is she in there trying to frantically sew in a zipper before anyone is the wiser? Not that I've tried this, but here's a tip. The shower method, good for blocking out family noises, and the shower steam helps save time on ironing. I think for most of us, we have enough stress in our lives, and it's really not beneficial to try and pressure yourself to adding one more thing to your plate. It's a hobby, so pick nice, non-stressful projects that you can pick up and complete fairly easily. Or you can be like the rest of us and agree to make your niece an elaborate fairy costume with a few alterations, which by the way she needs tomorrow for a school performance. But no worries, because she picked up a 1 hour pattern.